Today is the deadline to apply to Canada's Summer Jobs Grant Program, but many religious organizations will not take part because of a decision by the Liberal government. Under the new rules, applicants must agree that their organization's, quote, core mandate respects human rights, including women's reproductive rights. If they don't, they will not receive government funding, which is given to employers to hire students. Joining us now with reaction is David Millard Haskell. He is a sociologist of religion at Wilfrid Laurier University. Good to have you with us this morning.
Thanks, Anne-Marie.
Well, interfaith leaders had asked the government to amend this application, saying it doesn't allow religious organizations to say their true beliefs. Explain why this is such a contentious issue for them.
Well, it's a contentious issue, Anne-Marie, because the government is asking them to betray their conscience. So when we look at these conservative religious believers, what they believe is that a child in the womb is as valuable as a child outside the womb. So they have a pro-life position. Now, under the Charter, they're supposed to have freedom of conscience, freedom of belief. But now, in order to apply for these summer jobs, the government is saying you've got to deny those beliefs in order to get this money. And to be honest, that is a violation of the Charter. And that the government would be doing this is what's really shocking.
Now, the government responded to this backlash. They provided additional information when they extended the deadline, and it included their definition of core mandate. I want to put it up for everyone. It says, this is the primary activities undertaken by the organization that reflect the organization's ongoing services provided to the community. It is not the beliefs of the organization. It is not the values of the organization. Does that clear things up?
No, it doesn't, because what the government has done here is it's tried to say that there's a charter right for abortion in Canada. And let me be clear, abortion is legal in Canada. It absolutely is. But we have to go back to the 1988 Morgentaler decision that struck down the existing abortion law. And when that happened, it left Canada without an abortion law. But it didn't make Canada, or it didn't give Canadians, a right to abortion. And there's a big difference there. So what the government's trying to do is conflate the two. It's trying to say that there's a charter right to abortion. And then they try to say that those groups that are pro-life are violating the charter. And that's a complete misread and a misuse of what the charter does. In fact, if we looked at it a little bit further, Section 32 of the charter says that the charter is there to protect individuals against government infringement. The government is now using it to infringe on individuals. I don't know what the government is trying to do here. Well, actually, I do have an idea, but let me just put it out like this. They are ideologically driven in this area. It's not the law that's driving them, it's ideology.
At the end of the day, politics aside, these are grants that are meant to fund up to 70,000 students in Canada for summer employment. What happens now to those grants that maybe aren't applied for? Some groups, like there is a father in London who has asked people in his diocese to say, just don't bother applying. And
I think that we see people who are actually having the courage of their convictions doing exactly that. They're saying we aren't going to accept the Liberal solution. The Liberals have actually said to pro-life groups who don't have a core mandate, where they're not specifically out trying to advance an agenda against abortion, the Liberals said, well, listen, why don't you just X off that box anyway, and we'll give you the funding. And then we've got these other groups that are saying, wait a minute, that's a betrayal of conscience. And it shows that the Liberals really don't have a grasp of what ethics are. And maybe we shouldn't be surprised. We've got a prime minister who is the first sitting prime minister who actually was charged with ethical breach for a vacation he wanted to take.
All right, David Millard Haskell, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks so much for talking to us today.
My pleasure. Thank you.